it's Ashley, and I'm going to show you a quick standing only practice today. So we're going to start standing on our feet. And if you're comfortable closing your eyes, go ahead and close your eyes. If you're not comfortable closing your eyes, how about a soft gaze down at the floor, so a little bit unfocused if possible. And then I invite you to stand nice and tall and really feel your feet connecting to the floor, the mat below you. Feel the base of your big toe, the base of your pinky toe, the inner and outer heel. And just notice your breath. And allow your shoulders to relax. Allow yourself to stand a little bit taller. And just breathe. While you're doing this, I'll remind you of your yoga. So every time we step onto a mat to practice, we remind ourselves that it is just that, a practice. So anything that we do today that feels like it needs to be adjusted, you adjust. And anything that we do that feels uncomfortable, you step out. You can stop at any time. You can come back to this pose, which is mountain pose. You can sit down for a moment. Put your arms down. You do what's most important and feels best for you. So from here, we'll open our eyes and we'll give our shoulders a nice big roll. You can roll them to the back. You can roll them to the front. And then once again, we'll drop them down, ground the feet into the floor, and stand a little taller. Good. We're going to add some arm movements. So when you're ready, take your arms out wide and up. And go ahead and drop the shoulders down. The elbows can be bent, the arms can be straight. And just reach a little higher with your hands. And then we're going to leave our right hand up. We're going to put our left hand down. Actually, I'm going to mirror you. So you're going to leave your right hand up. You're going to put your left hand down. You're going to stand a little taller, and you're just going to drop over towards the left. And when you go over towards the left, let your heart and your hips stay facing forward. Only go as far as you can breathe comfortably. Feel the stretch along the sideways. And if you want to, you could look up to add. You could look down. Whatever feels best for your neck. And when you're ready, we'll switch sides. Putting the right hand down, lifting the left hand up and stretching over to the other side. Again, grounding the left foot into the floor. Changing your gaze if it feels right for you to do that here. And breathe. And we'll come back up, bring both hands up, bring the hands together, and bring them down to heart. Tuck your chin for a moment. Breathe in and breathe out. Release the hands alongside the hips. Keep your chin tucked and just roll your right ear to your right shoulder. And you can stay here. Think about reaching the left hand down into the floor or left hand on your hip. Go ahead and turn your chin down towards the floor a little bit, gazing down towards your mat. And you can go ahead and turn the other direction, just gazing up a little bit. Make sure it feels comfortable on your neck, and if it's not feeling comfortable, you can just continue with the ear towards the shoulder without moving the chin down or up. And from here, we're going to drop the chin back down to the chest, roll the shoulders out, and we'll move into the other side. So left ear to left shoulder first. So as we're moving the ear to the shoulder, we keep the right shoulder down, and we only go where it's comfortable, where we can still breathe, where our neck feels good. You can take the right hand down towards the floor, a little bit more enhancing. You can bring the right hand to the hip. Go ahead and turn your chin towards your shoulder, if that feels nice. And then turn your gaze and your chin up towards the sky, again, if that feels good. And then ear to shoulder, tuck the chin to the chest. And then standing nice and tall, we're going to take our arms out wide, reaching the hands at the same height approximately as the shoulders, and then drop the shoulders down. Remind your knees to stay a little bit soft. Okay. And then we're just going to turn the palms up and turn the palms down. And just keep going up and down. Just rotating those arms. And then if it feels nice here, you can turn and look to the right. Look back to the front and look to the left. And then you can keep going with that, adding the turn of the head or not, up to you. And if your wrist is creaking and popping like mine, that's okay. As long as we have no pain, we're good to go. Make sure that if you started by looking to the right, you end up looking to the left. And then coming back to center. And then next time you're ready, or next time you turn the palms up, let's bend the elbows. So facing the hands towards the head, think about drawing open the heart, drawing the shoulder blades towards each other on the back body. And then notice your legs. Did you tilt your hips up or your tailbone down? Can you stand taller here? Good. And breathe. All right, we're going to do one more pose for the arms. We're going to take the left arm in front. We're going to take the right arm under for eagle arms. So you're kind of taking the right elbow crease underneath the left elbow, and then you can bring the backs of your hands together. Or if you're feeling like you want a little bit more, or your arms will allow you, you can bring the palms towards each other so you're wrapping a little extra. Good. And then from here, find the space between the shoulder blades opening up. Good. And then coming back out wide, elbows bent, cactus shape arms or goalpost shape arms, palms facing you. And we're going to switch sides. So we're going to bring the right hand in first and the left hand underneath. Maybe the backs of the hands just touch, or maybe you can wrap the arms around, and maybe it's just the fingers barely touch the palm. In either one, anything that feels right here. Should be the opposite arm underneath. And just breathe here into the space of the stretch, wherever it is that you feel the stretch. Know that it's right. One more breath here. And this time when we release, we're going to come back to cactus arms and then stretch the arms out wide and drop the hands down beside the hips and roll your shoulders out. In fact, shake your arms and maybe sway a little bit side to side. So we're going to start moving into our legs. So again, coming back to center, we're doing Tadasana. And you notice my mat has changed, moved a little bit, and that's okay. We just smooth it out. Coming back to Tadasana, feet underneath hips, palms, shoulders, palms facing the front, shoulders down. Go ahead and lift your toes up and give them a wiggle. We're going to come into chair pose. So I invite you to start with your hands on your hips. We start with our hands on our hips so you can almost press your hands into your hips and ground your feet into the floor. And then we're going to come into chair pose. So we're going to come in and out. So to come into chair pose, all we need to do is bend our knees a little bit. Try to keep your thighs parallel and the weight of your body back towards your heels so that you can almost still wiggle your toes. If you find yourself gripping with your toes and all of your weight is forward in the front of your feet, can you draw the weight back by shifting your hips back a little bit? And here we are, chair. Now we're going to come in and out. So we're going to inhale, straighten. We're going to exhale and lower into chair. Maybe you want to go a little bit deeper. Maybe you felt comfortable where you were. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, lower. Option to take the hands to the heart. Inhale, straighten. You can reach the arms all the way up into the sky. Exhale, lower, hands to heart. Bend the knees, find your chair. Inhale, straighten, reach up. Remember, this is just an option to add the arms. Exhale, lower. And one more time. Inhale, straighten. And exhale, we're going to stay in chair for just a moment. You can keep your hands at your heart, you can have your hands at your hips, or you can bring the hands directly in front of the shoulders. Wherever it is that you are, our thighs are parallel, the weight is in the heels. We are going only where it's comfortable for us, and our back is nice and long. Notice if you can pull your core in a little bit more, and you're kind of making from the top of the head through the shoulders to the hips, to the knees, to the heels, kind of a thunderbolt shape. This is also called thunderbolt pose. Good. If the hands are in front of the shoulders, bring them back to the hips. And inhale, coming up tall. And relax the arms. Feel free to shake it out, move, shake the legs. We are going to add on to that chair. So we'll start with the hands on the hips, standing nice and tall. Then we can bring the hands up alongside the ears. And soften into the chair, maybe dropping the arms directly in front of the shoulders or to the heart. Weight is in the heels, and you notice that it's fine to adjust. You don't have to come into the pose and be stuck there. Now, if the hands are in front of the shoulders, we're gonna all bring the hands to the heart, and we're gonna just turn to the side. So you're gonna turn towards the left, taking the heart and the shoulders towards the left, but the knees are gonna stay forward. Just a little turn. Coming back to the front. If you need to step up and out for a moment, you can. Breathe in and breathe out. And then we're going to turn towards the right just for a moment. So the hips and the knees stay forward. We're just turning the heart. And breathe. Ooh, feeling those legs. Coming back to center. Inhale, stretch it all up. Now this time, take your arms way out wide and down alongside the hips. Good. We're going to change our position. So we're just going to step the feet wide. So stepping the feet wide, we want space between the legs. We want our feet to be pretty much parallel. Our hips and shoulders are facing the front, and we're going to take our arms up towards the top corners of the room. 5-pointed star. Think about reaching and taking up space. Good. Go ahead and soften the knees just a tiny bit. So we're not locking the knees out. We feel a little bit of comfort in the legs. They're comfortable. They're not grounded and really straight. We're just being here and taking up space. We're going to come back to those cactus arms, elbows bent, turning the palms towards you, towards the head, or you can turn the palms towards the front, whichever feels nice. Good. And then coming back to 5-pointed star. And we're going to move the left foot. So we're going to turn the left foot towards the short end of the mat. We're going to draw the hands down, same height as the shoulder, and we're going to move into triangle pose now. So we have our left foot towards the short end of the mat. The right foot is towards the long end. Our hips and our shoulders are facing the long side of the mat. And we'll turn and look over the left middle fingers. And then we'll draw the left hand forward, let the left hand float down and rest lightly on the left leg. We'll take the right hand to the sky, and we could look up, we could look to the side, we could look down. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. If you find yourself folding forward and so that your chest is kind of over the edge of the mat, can you draw your body back so that it's directly on top of the leg? So that your bottom is tucked under and it's in the same plane as both feet. Good. We're going to come out by lifting our body up, bringing the arms parallel to the floor, and simply switching feet. So the left foot faces the long side and the right foot faces the short side. Good. And feel free to shift, wiggle, and make sure that you're feeling comfortable here, and rest the arms if you need to rest the arms. We're going to look over the right middle finger, and we're going to stretch over the right leg long, and then let the right hand come down and the left hand come up. And again, notice where you are in space. Is the left shoulder directly over the right shoulder? Are the hips tucked under? Maybe you feel a little elongation in the top of your left thigh, sorry. And we breathe. Can you take a little weight off that bottom hand by engaging your core? When you're ready, you're going to come all the way back up. We're going to turn our toes to the long side of the mat. We're going to come to 5-pointed star once again. And we're going to move into goddess pose. I invite you to start with your hands on your hips. We're going to take our heels in a tiny bit and our toes out a tiny bit. And this is a little bit like chair in that it's kind of a squat. So when you're ready, we're going to bend the knees. We're only going to go as far as feels comfortable. When we bend the knees, we want to keep our shoulders directly over our hips. We're trying to keep ourselves in one straight line, straight up and down. So imagine that there was a wall behind you, and the back of the head, the back of the shoulders, and the hips were on the wall, and you were just sliding down the wall. Good. Now, if you want to change the arms, they can come out same height as your shoulders. They could come to your heart. They could come to cactus arms. And we're going to move again with this one. So we're going to inhale, straighten the arms, straighten the legs, take up space. Exhale, softly release into the pose. And again, inhale, straighten, lengthen. Exhale, come in, notice your knees, and can you draw them away from each other? Elongate those inner thighs. Good. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, come in, and I invite you to stay here. You're welcome to softly sway side to side. Hands could be at heart, hands can be at hips. All right, now wherever you are, we're gonna take our left hand, we're gonna put it on our left inner thigh. We're gonna start with our hands on our hips. We're gonna take our left hand and put our left hand on our inner thigh, and we're gonna drop the left shoulder down towards midline, turning towards the right leg, and you're kind of pushing that left knee out, getting a nice little stretch. Take your right hand on your inner right thigh and switch sides. So right hand presses to the inner thigh, right shoulder drops down, you're turning towards your left leg, and you're getting a nice stretch. And if this feels good, you can just shift side to side. You can really add by pushing into the leg and turning the heart a little bit more to the other side. And just listen to your body. And if this doesn't feel good, we can come all the way back up into 5-pointed star. So when you're ready, if you turn to the left first, we'll turn to the right second, or if it's the other way, and we'll all come back to 5-pointed star. Then we'll bring our hands down, same height as our shoulders. We're gonna do one more standing pose here, one more standing asana. We're gonna take our right toes so that they're parallel to pointing towards the long side of the mat, so the side of the foot is parallel to the short. We're gonna take our left toes back to face the short side of the mat at the front, and we're gonna drop into that left knee, and we're gonna come into Virabhadrasana 2, so warrior 2. You notice that I had to move my feet a little farther apart because I wanna keep my knee pretty much over the ankle. If our stance is short and we end up with the knee very far forward over the toes, it can feel a little bit of stress on the knee. So maybe it feels a little bit more comfortable to have the legs farther apart. The arms are parallel to the floor, and we can look towards the front of the mat over the left middle finger. Option to keep the hands at the hips. And of course we breathe. Good, you can soften into that bent leg if it feels comfortable. And notice where you are in space here. We want to keep the shoulders directly over the hips. And so feel it if you're reaching, kind of like you're reaching to move into triangle pose. And if you are, imagine someone takes hold of the backhand and draws you back so that you're right over top of the hips. Now we're simply switching sides. I invite you to take your hands to your hips first, and we'll straighten the bent leg, turn those toes towards the long side of the mat. And the leg that was straight, we're gonna turn towards the back of the mat and bend that knee, coming into Virabhadrasana 2 or Warrior 2, facing the opposite direction. Arms come up, same height as your shoulders, and we're looking over our right middle finger, or wherever it was that you're facing. Good. And again, breathe here. Here, I invite you to notice the bent leg, and see if you can have that knee grounded directly over the heel. And if you're feeling like the knee is rocking in or rocking out, can you drop back right over the heel? Ground the heel into the floor. And anytime you need to rest the arms, you rest them and bring them back up when you're ready. All right, one more time. We're going to come back into 5-pointed star. So both legs straighten, the feet turn towards the long side of the mat. Last time to lift those arms up. Breathe, take up space. And then we'll bring our hands together and down to heart, and we'll heel toe our feet together or step together, whatever feels nice. We are going to do one balance, and then we are out. We are done with our practice. For balance, you're starting in mountain. If you feel like you need a wall, you can walk over to the wall and have it closer to one side, and then you'll just simply switch sides when you do the other leg. The wall, that is going to be the foot that we're lifting. So if you're touching the wall with your left hand, you're going to be lifting the left foot first. First thing we do is we're going to ground our feet into the floor, maybe rocking back and forth, really to feel connected. And then imagine, we're not going to do tree pose, but imagine you were a tree and you can make your roots grow out, way out wide to the left and to the right and down into the earth so you're super stable. Then I'd like you to engage your core. So pull the belly in, stand a tiny bit taller, feel your energy drawing in towards your center. Now we're going to put the weight of the body in the right leg. We're going to bend the left knee, and we're going to come into stork pose. So we're standing on the right leg, very tall. We have the bent left knee, the left heel is off the floor, the left toes are touching. And then I invite you to lighten up that foot until your left toes are super light, maybe barely brushing the floor. Then if you want to change your arms, you're welcome to. They could come out like airplane arms. They could come to heart center to remind you to pull your energy in. They could grow all the way up to the sky. Wherever it is that you are, notice that bent knee. Is it facing forward? Are the hips facing forward? Are the shoulders facing forward? Can you lift it off the floor? If you're feeling like you can lift it off the floor, maybe you lift it up a little bit higher. If you're feeling like, oh, I don't know, then go ahead and tap it up and down. Practicing. We are practicing every time we step on our mat. And then again, pull the energy in. Standing leg is a little bit soft. Gaze at a single spot on the floor in front of you, something that's not moving. And breathe. When you're ready to come out, you can just release the arms, release the legs, and give yourself a shake, a shimmy, let it all go. All right, second side. You're welcome to find a new spot. Sometimes that feels good. Sometimes it feels really good to stay exactly where we were. Ground the feet into the floor, stand super tall. Left leg. We bring the weight of the body into the left leg so we can bend the right knee. As we bend the right knee, we lift the right heel off the floor and we lightly touch the floor with our right toes. We scoop our belly in, standing tall, finding the energy, pulling towards midline. And then if you want to change your arms, you can. And if it's a different arm variation that I'm not showing, that's also okay. You do you. Breathe in and breathe out. And if you're feeling like you could lift that bent foot, bent leg off the floor, go for it. Really doesn't matter if the toes are pointed or the foot is flexed. As long as you're feeling comfortable wherever it is that you are, we're practicing our balance. And if we find we have to step out, that's okay. Step back when you can. Breathe. Nice. One more breath here. And we'll let it all go. Hands, legs, shake it out. All right. We are going to do a little meditation standing right here. So stand however is comfortable. Legs could be farther apart, legs could be closer together. If you want your feet to touch, you can. Go ahead and shoulders roll, shake it out, just release all the wiggles. And then when you're ready for stillness, close your eyes. And of course, if it doesn't feel good to close your eyes, soft gaze over top of the nose. And here we are. Allow your body's natural breath to resume. And go ahead and soften your face, your jaw, your ears, your neck, and your shoulders. Softening into the arms, and all the way down into the hands, the palms, the fingertips, the thumbs. Allowing the chest and the heart to relax, the back of your shoulder blades to soften, the belly to relax, the hips, the thighs, your knees, your ankles, and your feet. Perhaps you can release the grip of your toes. Let a feeling of relaxation wash down from the top of your head, down over the shoulders, over the rib cage, to the fingertips, to the thighs, to the knees, to the feet. And if you have more time, you're welcome to stay in a meditative stance, or come to a seat, or come and lie down in Shavasana. For the rest of us, if your eyes are closed, we'll open them slowly. We'll take a big breath in and a big breath out. I invite you one more time to stretch your arms out wide and bring them up overhead. Together, let your hands find each other And we'll float the hands down to our hearts, tucking our thumbs to our hearts, the chin to the chest, just a little bit, just gaze down. And when you're ready, we'll finish up here. Namaste. Thank you all for coming and practicing with me today. Please leave me any notes about how you felt about this practice, and like and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you very much.